Ladies and gentlemen, this is Professor Euloge Anicet Nkounkou, the first doctor of philosophy in international petroleum, minerals and energy, attorney, expert and diplomat of United Nations, were elected Secretary General of United Nations. Were official the Secretary General of United Nations. And today is too hot, so I remove my tie and my jacket today, and we must apologize for that. But we have to come. We could not, because we said that we will remain in silence 3 days, but we need more time because we feel fatigue now, fatigue for many years of fight. But even if we feel fatigue, people are suffering, people are being threatened. So we came again because people are waiting our voice, the voice of Secretary General. First, we have to destroy lies, lies that are in Canada right now. We said no. We know that we learn. Pope Francis went to Canada. Probably he will have time also to see my children. For me, like I said that Canada didn't make, during all the time of captivity, Canada didn't make a press conference. Okay, Nicolas Sarkozy, when French Betancourt from Colombia was in danger, Nicolas Sarkozy sent airplane, multiply conference. Ingrid Betancourt. That Canada didn't do that, but it's okay. I don't hold the grudges. But what I'm asking to Canada and to Switzerland, not to respect the Freemasonry criminal organization, but to respect the law, international law. To respect international, because Canada is Canada led, even if United Nations, one deputy secretary general was from Canada, and Canada invests a lot in United Nations, and also Switzerland, because the headquarters is here. But we saw your message of 5, okay? 5, that's what I was telling you. We saw your message for 5. We told you that nothing escaped to your Secretary General. That is the best Secretary General of United Nations you never ever have, because he knows everything. If I don't know today, tomorrow, but I will know. If I don't know, because I'm not focused on that. But if I focused, I will know what happened around. So in Freemasonry, you vote for 5. So 5. But you were wrong. You are wrong. It's not. My situation is not led by Freemasonry 5. Duress. Because, and not only my situation, and many people around. It's not led by resilience, but all notion you want to take. Justice doesn't care about that. International law doesn't care about that. So we can give you example. We can give you an example that Switzerland responds to us. Okay, Switzerland responds to us, but is in Germany. We don't understand Germany, and we call one lawyer to make interpretation for us, but he's not available today, and he's not available tomorrow, 27. It's not available. So we have to wait if we can reach someone. But what we see that they sent us our document there. Our document, and Switzerland recognize our title of professor. So you can see here professor. Our title of professor, Prof. Euloge Anicet Nkounkou. So things they didn't recognize it before, okay? Before. That one thing. The second thing that you want to make a commission. You want to make a commission. You say, oh no, you don't need just by jealousy. Oh no, you don't need a full. You don't need full or permanent power. That to attack my Lura Watita. My Lura Watita is international law. It's called les droits acquis. Le droit acquis in international law. That is Lura Watita. Lura Watita is permanent. Permanent. What you see here, Switzerland put professor. It's come from Lura Watita. It's come from PhD achievement in petroleum, minerals, and energy. It's universal. It's permanent. The University of Laval told me it's permanent. Everywhere you will go, you will be always the chief of petroleum. Everywhere. So, Switzerland recognizes it. So, you cannot go to make a commission of Freemasonry and to say, oh no, he has too much power. No, I have, yes. You don't have PhD in international petroleum, minerals, and energy. You didn't achieve it. You wanted to steal from me, from people, and you manufacture it. Okay? Remember that my PhD was stolen by first secret services. Many secret services include from England, from Russia, from United States, from France, from many. And also you have a right to develop by being inspired from me. But what have been given to me is permanent. So people just understand how international law works. People during many times, many years, from decades, didn't understand why the founder of United Nations remove 4. Even if the big chair you see at the place of nation, they remove one and they remain 3 in the chair, big chair at the United Nations. But why in the Security Council they put 5? It's me give you that information. So you cannot go to if you change the law, there is no the principle of retroactive. You know, there is a law is a principle. There are principles you cannot change, like le principe de la non-rétroactivité de la loi, principle of non-retroactivity of law. So you change the law today, your commission changed the law today, but it's not going to change what in the past. You are not going to change if Margaret Thatcher says something, Winston Churchill said something, De Gaulle take this law. You are not going to change it. Okay? If you change the constitution in your country, you are not going to change the last constitution and who was president. You are not going to delete the story and the principle. It's the same for a small lawyer and the court talked about a contradiction. There is no contradiction. It's not bipolar or what you say. There is no contradiction. When I said that when I said that I was, even if yesterday they poisoned me, I was poisoned more than 960 times. So 960 times, more than. So I didn't count when I was in other part. I was if I count everything, we will be at more than 1,000 poison, more than 1,000. So when I said you overturn more than 400 times, more than 470 times, 78 times, because when I go home, I count again. I said, okay, I said 478, but now I discover I forget this, I forget this, I forget, because of me, I do always exhaustive work. I forget this, I forget this, I forget this, and I never said, I have to tell you that they did it. They give me medicine, try to erase my memory, but they couldn't. They couldn't. Now I don't know what they put here in in lethal to me. So I have to find an expert, and I hope that Dr. Kerson, my brother, Dr. Kerson, and Dr. Tedros will give me expert. Will check my blood and everything. So it's not your commission that will do that. We'll say, oh, you contradict, so we have to apply the principle of estoppel. What do you know about the principle of estoppel? I don't want to give a lecture to people. Estoppel comes from the Romanist law, not canon law, but Romanist law. There is a canon law and there is a Romanist, German Romanist law. Estoppel comes from, it's the principle of a civil procedure. But you cannot apply the principle of estoppel in international law. You will borrow it for domestic law to bring it in international. I belong to public international law. And indictment was the principle of indictment, the procedure of indictment was put in place to avoid the contradiction come from the principle of estoppel. But there is no indictment. So you go, you don't associate people, you don't associate me in the trial, you put me there and you go to judge the message I send by video to go to find contradiction. But you lose your mind. You lose your mind. You are a small lawyer, you will remain a small judge. I told you that I'm the top lawyer, top judge of 20, professor of law of 21st century. So I can teach you the principle of estoppel, just come by video, but the principle of estoppel come when you are in person in trial, when you are in person. But how to bring a diplomat in the trial, the diplomat Laura Wachita like me, because I have a humility. You cannot remove it. It's not you. It's not you put this humility. It's not you. And this humility under what they call by Laura Wachita. I will give you a lecture one day about Laura Wachita. Come with Laura Wachita. So soon as I will detain this PhD in international petroleum minerals and energy, is come from with Laura. Come with humanity. Because yesterday they poisoned me. Some of them thought it was they put it in water at home, So I have to leave this house. They put it in the water. So they test every time they do virus. They come to test it to me. Experiment. So they say that it's monkeypox, but me, I'm not homosexual. I'm not homosexual. So because they cannot do it to me because I don't do sex since 2018 that I knew my wife. So I don't do sex. I've never been homosexual. I asked to Obama how it works, but they come to put it in water. When I want to drink water, so it attacked me. But God cleaned everything. I have blackness. You know that I'm general of Forces Army, and you can see it. The most important that you are more than, so keep my children away, even if the Pope go there. I fought for the Première Nation, Amerindian, but if the Pope feel like he has to meet my children, it's okay. It's my okay. But what I don't want is people. You talked about my marriage 1 year. You talked about my children. You don't have children. You don't have a wife. You don't have a husband. Be focused on you. Be focused on you, not about my children. Everywhere I will be, my children will come to see their father. They are major. They are major. My children are major. They are major. They are not minor, except the last one. The last one. Okay, except the last one. I saw also people are talking about the constitutional of a republic. Lise Chenet talked about constitutional of a republic. Lise Chenet, I have a pity for you. I have a pity for you. Since when the United Nations became a republic? A republic is a management mode. It's not a country, it's a management mode. When you say the Republican, it's one type of management. Serve public affairs. That's a Republican. At least, Chenet, you are American. And you are saying that a Republican Constitution. So where is the Constitution of the United States of America? Me, I don't fear your Attorney General. There is only one man like me. President, when they go to the United States, like, and other people like Dominique Strauss-Kahn. Dominique Strauss-Kahn, when they get to the United States of America, they fear to be arrested. Me, they cannot arrest me. I worked for the White House as Laura Kwachita, so they need to arrest me. And then the second, we contribute with constitutional difficulties of in America. Obama didn't succeed to put your general attorney, MERRICK Garland, in the power. He couldn't. It's missettled this constitutional conflict between the power of the president and the power of Congress. The president proposed, the Congress suppose, also both and the Senate supposed to approve. But because they are Republican, they want to take power of Freemasonry criminal organization, and they block the friend of Joe Biden, Garland. So it takes professor of, not the fake professor, like that he was professor without a PhD, without a master, without any qualification at Harvard. Not the fake professor of constitutional. But the true constitutional professor is me, comparative constitutional. So the Republican exerts badly his power when to take by Freemasonry and block the proposition of a general attorney, MERRICK Garland, proposed by the president. So how to make the management of constitutional co-decision. They call it, I can teach in South Africa. It's so some professor of apartheid professor are not professor. I can teach them. A lawyer, court, around the world, I will teach you the management of the constitutional management of co-decision between the president and American Congress. No, I don't fear your attorney general. Is my own product, MERRICK Garland. So MERRICK Garland have to arrest first. Obama killed JOAN River. They said that it was a surgery. Surgery, it was just an excuse. When JOAN River said that Michelle Obama is homosexual, is transgender, the next day they kill her. So if Garland want to prosecute someone, is not me, is not Trump. It's not Trump in January 6th, because people want to march to protest against people violate integrity of election. People violate you. You want to make mail vote, and some state they didn't have a bio. People were not in, didn't appear in bio, so there are many mistakes. So people want to march on the 6th of January to contest, because America is supposed to be the good example of integrity of democracy and integrity of election. People want to, but how about who killed JOAN River? Who killed JOAN River? So MERRICK Garland have to come to start to prosecute Obama. So I don't fear your general attorney. And I have to tell Liz Cheney, don't repeat again the constitution of a republic. You're Democrats, but you call the constitution of a republic not the constitution of the United Nations, that people use to elect you. You see how the cow you bring to the United States of America. Once again, there is only one man in this world. When I get to America, I put in the place, even if they came this mandate to put him, but I start the fight alone as political lieutenant to put MERRICK Garland, your attorney general. I have also a friend in Pentagon, the General Millet. I was fighting for America And after many months, I saw behind there is one general only said, no, I have to defend the Constitution. He didn't say that, the General Millet didn't say he was going to defend the Constitution of a republic. But he said, I'm going to defend the Constitution of a United Nations. So I have a friend there in Pentagon. I have a friend, the Justice Janine Pirro. I have a friend, the Justice Clarence. I have a friend, Ted Cruz. So I have many, Cortez, and you know, all you are mistreating, they stand for me, they stand for their freedom. The only man can give them freedom is their Secretary General, Professor Euloge Anicet Nkounkou. About oil and gas, there are a mess. About oil and gas, there are a mess, and you will see it. They are imposing a president. You know, when they go to fight in the camp of Kati in Mali, they bring petroleum equipment. And it's difficult Africa to take benefits of their own natural resources. So stand will settle this. If you miss this time of change, you have to wait 70 years. 70 years. Because it takes time for God to make a leader like me. Okay? A leader like me. Also, you are more than 8% experiencing injustice, narcissism. We will continue to do everything we have to do to bring this change. But let us take the seat at New York. Let us take the seat of New York. Okay? Let us take the seat of New York. Once again, we have a immunity of jurisdiction. So if there is a judge in America, a judge in Russia, judge in China, France, they are not competent to judge Lura Wachita and permanent. If you change the law, it will be applicable only for the future. Those who came after me, not me. That there are principles you cannot change is the principle of retroactivity of law. There are many people that are saying that I will take an airplane and the airplane will explode. What do you think only the airplane can explode? How about 900 more? I said more, so it can be 1,000 now, 1,000, and if I count everything, I don't want to count it because it's give me make me uncomfortable. But the poison you put in me cannot kill me. Only the airplane I will take will kill me. And why you are worried for me? Well, you were not worried for many years now, 10 years, 2012. We are in 2022, you are not worried. Only today you will be worried of myself, worry of my children, and worry. Your manipulation, you have to keep your manipulation. Switzerland, why Switzerland wrote to me? Because they know that the government of Kenya respect the international law, the government of Congo respect international law, and Switzerland write to me. This is the document they have, all document they have, even if the document of the United Nations, you can see it, and everything. So, we need to take our batch, we didn't take yet our language, we need to take, they send a mail, they send a mail to Zurich and everything. So, they said that they will take me by force. You cannot take me by force because Kenya didn't do that, Congo Brazzaville didn't do that, Qatar didn't do that. Where I was politically, in the US, they didn't do that. So Switzerland is not going to do anything. You don't have a power to arrest me because I'm protected by international law. Soon as I have immunity, the immunity I have of petroleum is not the same of all immunity of experts of United Nations. It's not the immunity of president. The president, Bill Clinton was there, Monica Lewinsky have to pass by a commission, and me, I never passed by a commission. Koya tried to do it, but it didn't work because I'm international. Koya doesn't have a competence. Freemasonry doesn't have a competence. Here in Switzerland, there is no committee. Call me. No committee. You want to make a committee. That oppression, that manipulation. Respect the law. Switzerland say I'm professor, but professor for what? Petroleum, minerals, and energy. I have PhD in petroleum, minerals, and energy. So that's what you have to know. We will fight to bring down the price of the bill of electricity, the bill of water, the bill of food, the bill of oil and gas, rental housing, for the good of our people around the world. I'm fighting, I know very well the issue. I worked for that many years, and yes. About a woman, I was, Dr. Arikana, Lizzie Cheney, do you think it's normal morning when you are speaking to people in TV, down there, they are making you sexual hassle and they force you to speak, and in all platform of TV, you can hear that they are making sexual assault to a woman. Do you think that is normal? It's the matter of private, not public. But a woman, the day I saw Dr. Arikana speaking, and inside there, probably they were making her sexual assault, diplomat. It was terrible. It was terrible. And she's not alone. There is many women around the world. Many women. Only me can stop that. When I will reach New York, I will stop that, to give to woman dignity, to give to woman, if she have to do it, only she choose by herself, not to be forced, and in TV platform. And the journalist, when you're speaking and seeing a woman mourning, no one will accept any individual, to rap your wife when you are seeing. No one. No one. The man have a dignity, cannot. So if you do it to me, or you did it to me, know that you will be arrested for dignity. To rebuild the dignity of a woman, to rebuild the respect of a woman. You cannot come to the platform of YouTube, platform of TV. And to do that, if you want to do that, go to hotel in private and private. No one will disturb you in private. But even if in private, there are women that they take you, they send the police, they take you, and they bring you in the private, they put you in the private jet, they bring you in the forest. There you cannot escape because you are in the middle of forest. You cannot escape. Even if you cry there, no one will come to take you. But your Secretary General will mobilize the troop of United Nations to save the single lash in danger, the single woman in danger, the single man and children in danger. Once again, we will not fly to Canada. We have a right to choose where we have to go. This is, we have a right. We have a right to choose our international expert. International. This is just a residence. Okay? Canada is just a residence. Canada is just a residence. It's just a residence, but the residence you can change. I have the card that my residence is in Switzerland right now. My residence in Switzerland, but my permanent residence is in Africa. It's in Africa. You should not force us to live in a colonial country, and Macron can fly to Africa to enjoy the life there. Macron can fly, a European can go to Africa. But Africans have to be in the colonized country. Who are going to leave Africa? I'm free to go to Africa. I'm free to live where I am. If you don't want me to live in Europe, in America, and in Canada, I have the residence called, permanent residence called Africa. So I can live any country in Africa. Because I'm an African. I know the language of Africa. This is why you cannot change my skin. There is no original Canadian called Nkounkou. There is no original. Nkounkou come from Africa. There is no original man called is European. We come from Africa. How European Macron have to go there, and for us, we should not live in Africa. We have a right to live where we are international attorney, expert, and a diplomat. We are elected Secretary General of United Nations. We have a right to work, to live in Switzerland like Kofi Annan. We have a right to go in Africa, residence. We can fly for there to come from United Nations session here in Switzerland and United Nations session in New York. Okay, thank you so much. Just a small message, and we don't have time right now. A small message, and we'll come with a good message. All the situation about Iran, about Ukraine and Russia and everything. But this is a small message because you are waiting this message. Thank you. God bless all nations.